Last night, the A's got a much-needed win. Bob Melvin and the boys snapped their 4-game losing streak against a very talented White Sox squad that is headed to the postseason. With 24 games left in the regular season, the time is now for the Green and Gold to get on a hot streak, start rolling, and make it a September to remember. Sean Manaea and the A's look for the series win versus the Southsiders, and it's coming up next. Thursday afternoon baseball under sunny skies at the Coliseum. It's the rubber game of the series, A's and White Sox, and we'll have it for you right after this.
A's baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. With 10 hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. Experience a powerful and secure Wi-Fi connection for all your devices. Xfinity X5. Can your internet do that?
It is a nice day for baseball, and it's the rubber game of the series. It's the White Sox and the Athletics coming up right here on NBC Sports California. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball, along with my broadcast partner, Dallas Braden. I'm Glenn Kuiper. The month of August was a very difficult one for Sean Manaea. The big left-hander just could not get things going, but the calendar flipped to the month of September, and so did Sean Manaea. And his first start in September, Dallas, was last Friday in Toronto. Very good Jays lineup, and he was terrific.
It was an outing that you wanted to see from Sean Manaea for a couple reasons. One, because of the way the month of August had transpired for him, but two, because you know what this team is going to need down the stretch, and they got it out of the big lefty against a very, very dialed-in Toronto Blue Jay lineup. 7 strong innings, just 5 hits, only 2 runs, 9 punch-outs, Kipe. 8 of those punch-outs on the fastball. And because the velocity was what it was, that allowed him to use the fastball to the extent he did, and it opened up the secondary offerings.
Well, the A's broke their 4-game losing streak last night. It was a good night offensively for the A's. It wasn't like they scored 8, 9, 10 runs, but I thought, Dallas, there was a lot of good at-bats. There was just enough clutch hits, and they need to carry that over not only into today's game, but really into the weekend.
Yeah, you can go ahead and check your watch, Kite, because that's what we call timely hitting. And that's exactly what the Oakland A's lineup did yesterday against the lefty Dallas Keuchel. 5 runs, 10 knocks, but look at that, 3 for 7 runners in scoring position. In the previous 2 games, 3 runs on 8 hits. What this Oakland A's lineup did last night was take advantage of those opportunities that it seems that they have passed up here recently. But what this lineup needs to continue to do is take advantage of those mistakes. You've got Ronaldo Lopez on the mound, who has struggled on the road and here at the Coliseum trying to finish off this series against the Chicago White Sox.
So the A's are ready, and Sean Manaea, the starting pitcher this afternoon, heads out to the mound, followed by Sean Murphy, and here come the rest of the Athletics. So, day baseball on a very nice day, nice and warm today at the Coliseum, feels good. A's bounced back, won last night after the White Sox won on Tuesday night. We will see what happens today under sunny skies. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting White Sox. It's brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers, and here it is. Cesar Hernandez, the switch hitter, leads off at second base. Luis Robertson, center. Jose Abreu's in the third spot. He's at first. Yasmani Grandal is going to be the designated hitter today. Andrew Vaughn is in right field. Vaughn has had a tough series, but Tony La Russa showing confidence, slides him up in the lineup. Romy Gonzalez is going to play third base today. Then it's Hamilton, Mendick, and Zavala.
Nobody taking on the big southpaw, Sean Manaea, making his 28th start of the season. And I just told you about the velocity for Sean Manaea last time out. He's got a lineup full of right-handed hitters. If he can get that fastball and keep that fastball 92, 94, 95, I think that changeup's going to be a good weapon for him today.
Here's how the A's look defensively today. Tony Kemp is in left. Starling Marte is in center. Marquand is in right. Then it's Chapman, Andrews, Harrison, and Olsen on the infield. And Sean Murphy is behind the dish today. So we're set for baseball as Minaya has wrapped up his warm-up tosses. Cesar Hernandez is ready to step into the box. So Hernandez, Robert, and Abreu, the first three hitters for the White Sox. Cesar Hernandez, the first two games in this series, hitting out of the 9th spot. Today moves up to the leadoff spot. There's a few changes for the White Sox today in that lineup. A couple guys getting days off, including Moncada, Garcia. Eloy Jimenez is out again in the lineup after getting hit by that foul ball on Tuesday night. So a quick 0-2.
How about this? I mean, he hasn't even sat down yet.
Yeah, he hasn't even showed an usher or an usherette his ticket to show him where his seat is.
Yeah, I'm just here, just cruising, looking for my seat.
Quick look at the umpires. Vic Carapazza is calling balls and strikes. Adrian Johnson at first. Jeremy Riggs at second. Ron Kulpa is at third.
Well, Kipe, early on, see a couple good bolts on the fastball. Slider looks pretty tight for Sean Manaea. I talked about the changeup being a weapon for him with a lineup chock full of right-handers here. Looks like he likes that slider early on.
No swing, close. Hernandez is able to check.
In that game against Toronto, he did throw 12 sliders, 9 for strikes, got a swing and miss. Ooh, I feel like that could have been a swing and miss as well. Didn't get the call, though.
To the backstop. Count stays 2-2. Hernandez in this series 3 for 8. He's got 6 at-bats against Sean Manaea in his career, 1 for 6. Lost this one down the right field line, foul territory, and Canna hustling over there makes the catch for out number 1 here in the first. Nice calm day at the ballpark as you see the wind, not much of a factor, knocking the ball down just a little bit, but really not anything to speak of.
Just a kind of a stagnant feel in the air, if I'm being honest.
Luis Robert, a little pop-up over first, and that is going to work. Luis Robert drops it just fair for a bloop single.
Well, no harm, no foul. Sure, you got yourself a base runner here, but it's early contact, and it's weak contact. Not much you can do about this, Mark Canna, based on where he's at. But again, for Sean Manaea, you see the good velocity here early on. Able to crowd Robert. Got a good shot here, rolling something up. You can keep Abreu on the ground. That's something the A's did very well last night. A few double plays.
Abreu in this series is 1 for 7. His only hit was a 6th inning single last night. Boy, if you could send the White Sox out of town with a quiet series for Jose Abreu, that would be a good thing for the A's.
Oh, that's a win.
More action for Canna. Toward the corner, and Canna has it. So 2 outs. Interesting note here on Sean Manaea. He's done a lot of damage against the AL Central. Last 13 starts versus AL Central teams. He's 10-0 with a 2.07 ERA.
Yeah, that's what we call putting in work.
You know what I think? He's from Indiana. Gets that feel going.
Ah, I see ya.
Just threw that out there for you.
Makes sense to me. comfy at home or in the general vicinity of.
There you go.
And Shamanaya dominating the Central. I mean, the A's 29 against the AL Central. As a club, it's the second best record in the big leagues.
And a quick 0-2 to Yasmani Grandal, who's DHing today.
Oh, yeah.
3 for 7 in the series for Grandal. A couple of singles, a double. He's also walked a couple of times. Mancano and Garcia out of the lineup. That's 2 switch hitters. The first 2 games in the series, the White Sox had 4 switch hitters in the lineup. Today, 2 with Grandal and Cesar Hernandez, the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, steady diet of right-handers. See Murph going to work. Got to body up.
Grandal watches it drop low. Well, he really has good eye, doesn't he, Grandal?
Well, and he stays balanced. You know, one of the things that I try to pay attention to is how guys are taking pitches, just to give you an idea of what they may or may not be looking for, whether it's pitch, side of the plate, and even in his takes, very balanced.
Grandal spent quite a bit of time on the injured list. But since coming back, boy, he has been red hot. Whew. Since coming back, he's 15 for 29 with 5 home runs.
If I'm doing the math, Kite, that's a little better.
Is that good? Is that really good?
It's a little better than 500.
And there's that at bat for Grandal, where he kind of grinds, fouls pitches off, and that's another walk, his 3rd walk in the series.
Number 25, Andrew Vaughn.
So Grandal has now reached base safely in 25 straight games. So here's Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn has had a quiet series coming back home. 0 for 5 on Tuesday, 0 for 4 last night, so he's 0 for 9 with 3 strikeouts. With a couple of the bigger hitters out of the lineup. Andrew Vaughn, the first 2 games in the series, hit 8th. Tony La Russa slides him up to 5th.
The Vaughn squad.
So who do you think their favorite player is?
You get one guess. Oh, hey, you get family in town, there's no better feeling.
Cardinal Newman High School in Santa Rosa, and then on to Cal Berkeley. 3rd player taken in the 2019 draft, so not a lot of minor league time for Andrew Vaughn.
I think that's going to be a theme.
I know when he was at Cal, reading about him his junior year, when you knew he was going to be a high pick. A lot of the reports said maybe the most advanced college hitter in the draft. And when you see that, it makes you realize that he's closer to the big leagues than a lot of guys. And now he's in the big leagues.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, 2 years ago, the guy's swinging a -3 metal bat.
Yep.
And now you take 2020 essentially off, trying to develop. If you're one of those younger college kids, well, that's not the case for Andrew Vaughn. Keep it rolling. You're going to make that adjustment very quickly.
Strike 3 call on the inside corner. Good pitch there by Manaya. And the White Sox strand a pair in the top of the 1st. This is their starting lineup for the game today, brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. Harrison, Marte, Olson, Chapman, Lowry, Canna, Kemp, Murphy, Andrus. And the big numbers for Starling Marte on his fine season.
And that man right there is Reynaldo Lopez, making his the 27-year-old right-hander, is going to be making his 6th start, Kite. It's been a little bumpy for Ronaldo. Started the season on the IL, had a little minor eyeball procedure taken care of, made his way back up here.
So Lopez facing the A's for the 2nd time in a couple of weeks. Defensively for the White Sox, Billy Hamilton, the speedsters in left, Luis Robert in center, Andrew Vaughn is in right. Gonzalez, Mendick, Hernandez, and Abreu on the infield with Zebi Savala doing the catching. So our first look at Zebi Savala in this series, and a new left side of the infield for the White Sox with Romy Gonzalez at 3rd and Danny Mendick at short. So the first pitch to Harrison is a strike. Josh Harrison at 293. Reaches for that one, pokes it foul.
Well, within those first 2 pitches, you get a pretty good idea.
Well, some people think fanny packs are kind of out of style.
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
Very serviceable.
Exactly. You just saw a good reason to have a fanny pack on. Harrison just pokes it to right field, so he sort of mastered that swing and that at bat.
Touch it with 2, Kite. Just touch it with 2. You got 2 strikes. Just trying to get the bat to the ball any way you can. One hand, doesn't matter. Flick it out there, Jay Hay. What I was going to say, within those first 2 pitches, and he knows it right off the bat. Let's go. Those first 2 pitches, though, from Lopez, you get a good idea. Good hard fastball, and then here comes the slider.
So here's Marte.
But this A's team, they have got their hands full. 14 1/3 straight scoreless innings versus the Athletics. That's 0 earned runs over his last 18 1/3.
Harrison going the other way. It was on the 17th of August when Renato Lopez shut out the A's for 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, and he got the win.
Well, what the A's do have going in their favor here in this matchup against Lopez. Lopez is 0-4 with an ERA knocking on the door of 6, 5.93. His last 8 starts away from his home park.
In the hole, Mendick has it, and then juggles it, drops it, everybody's safe. Mendick had it. Intentions of going to second base, although it would have been a close play there. So it's going to be a hit from Marte.
Yeah, I don't know that he was going to have a shot at Harrison at second base. This ball deep enough in the hole, there's no shot he had to play on Marte. That's it. Just a little bobble on the transfer.
So here's Matt Olson, a early RBI opportunity for Olson. Swing and a miss. 95 miles an hour from Reynaldo Lopez.
Well, Kaib, I thought you described it perfectly, the way the offense performed last night. Maybe not a complete and total breakout, but you get some knocks in some important spots. 3 for 7, I believe, runners in scoring position.
Yeah, listen, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't this giant offensive output, you know, but it was just I liked it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they scored 5 runs, right? That's not a huge amount, but it just I thought they looked better.
Yeah, and I think
Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. Get the homer from Chappie. Some timely hitting late.
Long look by Lopez, takes a couple looks towards second. And the pitch to Olsen is up and away. This is the fanny pack guy. Now watch. So if you put away your fanny pack, you don't think it's in style anymore, we're telling you right now, it's wrong. You can hold baseball. It'll catch baseballs for you. I think I saw a granola bar in there.
I mean, that thing's big enough. He probably didn't pay for parking. You just fold up the Buick and stick it in that.
That's what I'm saying. Olsen swings and misses. So Lopez gets Olsen for the first out.
Well, this is a huge out here. And that's 3 fastballs Matt Olsen is unable to get to. A little late explosion, too, from Ronaldo Lopez. And this is, again, productive outs. And at this point right now, we hear guys talk about not pressing. And that's understood. But there has got to be production in spots like that if you want to get to where you want to be. Because without a lot of time left in this season, every at-bat in that scenario, it matters.
So here's Matt Chapman. First, Lopez with that little spin move. Lopez and Harrison having a little fun. No matter what the score is, it's going to be a good day at the ballpark if you're Josh Harrison.
And I like that.
He's determined to have a good time.
Because that's infectious.
Right. That's right. And now they're going to have Harrison picked off. So Lopez, got to give him credit. He stayed with it, and he's going to get Harrison. So Harrison, he just froze.
We got locked up.
Yep.
And there's really no 2 ways about that. This is all about Lopez timing Josh Harrison. And we talk a lot about it at first base as guys start to get off. Because what Lopez did, and what you know as a pitcher, is when you check the runner, they give ground, meaning you'll see a runner take a step back to second base, just like you see Marte there. And as soon as Lopez turns his head, you'll see runners try to gain another step or gain ground. And that's exactly what happened, is Lopez timed him up, looked at him, knew that Harrison was going to give a step back to second base, and the minute that Lopez would turn his head back to home, he knew Harrison going to gain another step.
And a fastball 97 miles an hour. Now it's a quick 0-2 to Matt Chapman.
There's the long ball from Chappie last night, able to elevate and celebrate.
Fouled straight back. Good swing there by Chapman.
Up and in, maybe the slide piece down and away. Lopez, 29.6% whiff rate on that slider.
Close pitch, but it worked its way off the plate.
Hard in, soft away.
Slowly hit up the middle. Mendick quickly to first, and they just got Chapman on a very close play. Mendick had to come a long way. So the A's threaten but do not score in the bottom of the first.
Live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your Oakland A's.
So Sean Manaea back to work. Worked his way out of a first inning jam. Gave up a single and a walk. As he faces Romy Gonzalez, Billy Hamilton, and Mendick. Swing and a miss. Good fastball.
Well, that's going to be the name of the game for Manaea. If he can put it where he wants and that velocity stays, I believe he'll have a good afternoon.
Well, Manaea, well, he's like a lot of starters. If you see swings and misses, especially with Manaea, the fastball maybe elevated a little bit, that's a great sign.
Very good sign.
Romy Gonzalez had a big moment last night. He got his first big league hit, and there it is. Sliced one to right field.
Pretty good feeling. Even better feeling to be able to look up at the board and see a batting average, regardless of what it looks like.
Well, how about that? And then get to the ballpark today and see your name in the lineup.
Love it.
Yes.
Because, I mean, for being honest, today could have been a mild dig me day. Hey, got a knock, you know, maybe not in the lineup again.
A mild dig me day, and that would be where you're really feeling good about yourself, but you're trying to keep it under wraps. That's what the mild part of it.
Yeah, just mild.
Because if your dig me day is too obvious, your teammates, you'll last about what, 20 to 30 seconds.
Yeah, you're gonna be wearing it. You will be wearing it.
Strike three call. Another good pitch by Sean Manaea. He painted the inside corner with Andrew Vaughn to end the first, and looked like he made the same pitch to Gonzalez here in the second.
Sure did.
Beautiful.
95 dotted on the inside part of the plate, and just nothing Romy could do. Can I help you, Romy? No thanks. Just looking.
This is Billy Hamilton, the speedster. Hamilton trying to stay healthy, but he can keep hoping that he can help the White Sox down the stretch.
Well, I don't think with his skill set there's any doubt that can absolutely help.
He's a very good defender. Doesn't hit a lot, but he's a good defender.
And that's the point, is he can cover some ground for you.
I mean, we know what he does on the bases. He's one of the fastest players you'll ever see, but not that time as he strikes out.
Number 20, Danny Mendick.
Oh, okay. I mean, this at bat, really, it felt like Sean Manaea was almost borderline offended that Billy Hamilton stepped up and tried to hit the baseball. Just heater, heater, heater. Come and get it. And if you got that big lefty out there swaying on the bump, feeling himself, that's just not a good sign for the other team, Kite.
Danny Mendick getting the start at shortstop today. Leori Garcia, very good the first two games of the series. The utility player for the White Sox, who was filling in at short for Tim Anderson. Certainly nothing against Mendick. The A's are probably glad Garcia's out. He's running all over the place.
Yeah. Some very quality at bats, and you saw earlier. Usually goes the other way around. I got you, Dad.
Strike 3 called. 1 an inning by Sean Manaea. Strikes out the side. 2 of them looking. Bottom of the second coming up. No score. Predict. You guys have seen it the last 2 games. We're going to do it again today. Real-time pitch-by-pitch predictions, analytics, insights. You're going to combine live action, artificial intelligence, and machine learning in what you're going to get next play predictions. So you'll see a percentage coming up and what Jed Lowry's going to do. And it'll change after each pitch. It's a different counts. It's going to change. It has to do with, well, what does Lowry do against right-handers, against this specific right-hander, batting left-handed, the count, the weather, day, night, ice, cold. It all goes in.
And it takes everything, as you said, not only what Jed Lowry does, but what the pitcher does, tendencies. And that's where the machine learning comes in, trying to keep up and then eventually predict.
So right now at 33% that he'll reach base. And now it just changed to 19 because he fell behind in the count. Chance of making it out is at 81%. Chance of getting a hit at 14%. And he smokes this one. Left center field, and that is over the head of Luis Robert. A booming double for Jed Lowry, opening up the bottom of the second inning. So he only had, according to Pitch and Predict, a 14% chance of getting a hit there.
Yeah, and in 1-2 counts, hitters are hitting 125 against Ronaldo Lopez. Jed Lowry in 1-2 counts against the fastball, hitting 179. So still not great, but you can understand slight favor to Jed Lowry there on the fastball.
So here's Mark Canha. Breakdown for Canha. He's at 240 with 16 homers, 53 RBIs. First pitch to Canha, down and away. We'll see where that being the count of 1-0 sets up for Canha. Well, his percentage of making it out went down by 11%. Swing and a miss. See, the hit percentage was at 13% with the count 1-0. Let's see what it goes to now with the count 1-1. It actually went up 8%.
How about
so
that?
Even though he swung and missed at a pitch to even the count, it went up. Tell me why, Dallas.
Because Mark Canha's raking in 1-1 counts. He's hitting 379.
What's he hitting in 1-0 counts?
1-0 counts 389.
Ah, interesting. So let's see where the hit percentage goes here. Now that he's behind in the count 1-2, it's sitting at 22%. It goes down just 2 percentage points.
Well, and again, advantage Canha here. Canha hitting 216 in 1-2 counts, and that's decent considering 1-2 compared across the league. But again, Lopez, he has hitters hitting 125 against him. So that's where you combine those numbers, and the machine's going to spit out what you're looking at down there in the bottom right-hand corner.
Strike 3 called. He painted the outside corner with a fastball. So that's the second strikeout for Ronaldo Lopez. Would you say Lopez, I mean, the velocity's there, you can see it, but it almost looks a little sneaky.
Well, it's what you're thinking, or what I think you might be seeing, Kipe, is it does look sneaky because he's not very noisy in terms of movements and physicality on the mound, but there's late life on that fastball. There's explosion, that other gear, where it feels like between 50 and 55 feet, that ball just reaches back and grabs 4th or 5th and says, see you later. So here's Tony Kemp.
Kemp taps it foul at the plate. Kemp's going to walk this one off just a little bit, as you see home plate umpire Vic Carapazza giving him a little extra time. Actually, you'll see the catcher do that as well. Just a common courtesy in baseball.
Yes, it's a professional courtesy, if you will. Got a guy up there blowing 98, you pound one off your foot. Can I get just a second?
Kemp slaps one down the left field line. Fair ball. Lowry's going to score. Kemp's racing for second. The ball's still rolling around. And now Kemp's going to try for third, and he is safe. Boy, Tony Kemp showing off the wheels there as that ball got down into the corner, and then it kind of hugged the outfield wall, and Hamilton had to chase it down.
Yeah, well, 0-1, I could have told you what was going to happen. Tony Kemp's hitting 343 in an 0-1 count, Kipe, and Hamilton doing his best to try to cut it off. We talked about his speed, being able to cover some ground out there, but unfortunately for the Chicago White Sox, Billy Hamilton gets in a little bit of a wrestling match with this baseball in the left field corner out there. Unable to pick it up cleanly, and TK on into third. And he's safe, and he knows it. And here you go. Here's Hambone, unable to cut it off there.
So infield comes in, and this one's bounced back to Lopez, who leaps up and grabs it, and he'll flip to first. So Murphy is retired for the second out. That is a triple for Kemp and an RBI, obviously. Lopez timed the jump perfect.
Oh, he's an athlete, Kite. There's
Absolutely.
no question.
No question at all.
If we're being honest, that's a very good pitch. You got a lot of action. I feel like Sean Murphy maybe hunting a fastball. You don't want to give it to him.
Good pitch there, but call the ball. Elvis at 228, 3 homers, 31 RBIs. Keep an eye on the pitch and predict. This one just below Dallas Braden. Nice play.
Just a bare-hander. Secured the catch.
Inside. So the count jumps in Elvis's favor, 2-1. Strike. Elvis disagreeing now with Carapazza.
Tough pitch, borderline pitch, which you got to understand. Think about the angle on this pitch. You can see it, just that vapor trail headed down. Lopez driving that pitch down through the bottom of the strike zone. And it does, it clips it.
Tap toward Mendick, the shortstop. His throw is in time, so it's a run for the A's. Lowry a double, Kemp a triple. Third inning coming up. A's 1, White Sox nothing. '49ers pregame live. It's almost here. As well as the rookie season of our new analyst, Joe Staley. We get you ready for the season opener against the Lions Sunday morning at 9 on NBC Sports Bay Area. Sebi Zavala, the backup catcher, leading things off for the White Sox. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Hernandez and Luis Robert. And Dallas, I know you're a Cowboys fan, so I want to wish you the best of luck tonight. The NFL season starts tonight.
Sure does.
with your Cowboys going down to Tampa, correct?
That's it. Taking on one Tom Brady.
Never heard of him.
Here he has a future.
Now, I know you're not. The fact that you're a Cowboys fan in the Bay Area, which may not sit well, but you have legitimate childhood reasons for being a Cowboys fan.
Yes.
I mean, your name is Dallas.
So
you start there.
Kind of had to wear that one.
You work your way around that.
Yeah, I don't know if Niner had the same ring in the waiting room, apparently.
Raider Braden?
Wasn't working. No, but as a little fellow, my mother and I got off an airplane in Arizona at the same time the Dallas Cowboys happened to be deplaning. And we get off, and I can remember a lot of the adults very excited that they were seeing the Dallas Cowboys and yelling and cheering. And, well, I kind of felt like Zavala. I wanted to cheer. I wanted to go, just like Zavala did. But so I kept that memory.
Marte into right center. He's got it. And that's the first down. So you were just a little fella.
Just a little fella, impressionable. And you've got the Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl champs. And everybody's losing their mind, and they're waving back, saying hello. And
so what year was this?
That's all it took.
Mid-90s?
Yes, mid-90s.
Okay.
I want to say maybe 92.
Okay. Yeah, that's good enough reason. I'll give it to you.
Don't hold it against me.
No. Want to know the count to Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez drives one toward the corner and left, and it's going to one-hop the wall. Kemp waits for it to come down. He grabs it, and Hernandez has a double. So Hernandez, the midseason pickup from the Cleveland Indians. He's done a good job showing power this year.
Well, it looks like this is off speed. It's like a changeup, maybe just kind of cut a little.
Or the White Sox, interesting situation at second base. A couple years ago, they drafted a young man by the name of Nick Madrigal. Yeah, very high. I don't know, 4, 5, 6 pick, something. It was a top 5 pick, I believe. So there's your second baseman, long-term, big time. Well, Madrigal in the big leagues this year, starting second baseman on the White Sox, gets hurt and he's dinged up quite a bit, and I believe he's going to miss the rest of the season.
Yep.
It ends up time for the White Sox to go get Kimbrel from the Cubs, and the Cubs said, that's who we want. And the White Sox said Madrigal it is, and they pulled the trigger. But just before that, they had picked up Cesar Hernandez because Madrigal was injured out for the year. So I think they feel like, it, you know, hey, you got to trade somebody good to get somebody good, and you got Kimbrel. But Hernandez has an option for next year as well in his contract, so he can be your second baseman next year as well.
There you go.
And the Cubs get their future second baseman. He's just not healthy right now, and Nick Madrigal. I believe that's how the process went.
Yep. And so you feel like everybody kind of wins out there. You got what you need now. You got what you need for the future. Cubs feel the same way.
Oh, and 2 the count to Luis Robert. He had a base hit in the first. A little flare down the right field line. Carapazza wanted to call that a strike. I'm convinced that he really wanted to.
I feel like he had a shot to, because according to the box, it pretty close. It's like a strike to me.
Yep. Nice hop for Elvis Andrus in his throw. Olsen reaches up to grab it. 2 outs. Well, pitch carefully here to Jose Abreu. He's second in the major leagues in RBIs with 103.
He's got a nose for it.
The only guy in the major leagues with more RBIs is Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez, 42 homers, 104 RBIs.
You want a homer? You want an RBI? Better call Sal.
Wow.
Yeah. Have a year for the backstop.
Jose Abreu, the last 2 years, has led the American League in RBIs. And the MVP last year.
And
trying
again,
to do it for the 3rd straight year.
And he would join some rare air there. Cecil Fielder. But just watching this at bat, watching his approach, I think can give you an idea of why he's had the success he's had.
Here's the list you're talking about, Dallas. In Major League history, players to lead their league in RBIs 3 consecutive years. And the reason you mentioned Cecil Fielder is because the American League.
Yeah.
George Foster, of course, he was with the great Reds teams in the 70s.
Well, look, just looking at this pitch here, Kite, this slider, you can see Abreu motioning there, scooping it up, but it starts away, comes down and in, and Abreu's momentum, that's taking him the other way. So he's looking middle oppo here, I believe, against Sean Manaea.
But I was always curious, Dallas, in the situation you're talking about, can you tell that Abreu in this scenario you're talking about, can you tell that after a swing and a miss or after the ball is thrown, yeah, he's looking away.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah.
So don't go there.
And that's part of trying to, reading a swing doesn't necessarily mean always reading the actual swing, because there's parts and components to the swing.
That was lined to center. Marte coming in, and Marte short hops it, and it's going to be a 2-out RBI hit as Hernandez comes in to score. So Marte, with a great effort, he came in, he went into a slide, but he just short hopped it, and Abreu has RBI number 104, and this game is tied at 1.
And he got what he was looking for. You can see Murph tucked in there on the hip pocket of Abreu. They want that fastball in. But unfortunately, a little arm side run from Manaea gets the best of him, brings it back over the plate, and Abreu looking to go middle oppo. Just kind of hits it where it's pitched.
So here's Yasmani Grandal, who walked back in the first inning. Good changeup there.
Well, it had to be a good one. He got squeezed on the first pitch, and it feels like Sean Manaea has not been the beneficiary of strike calls that should be strikes.
A little bit high, so now the count is 3-1 to Grandal.
Again, they called it high, but let's lighten that box up. And Sean Manaea kind of laboring right now at 57 pitches.
There's a strike. So now it's a full count. Runner goes, and Grandal, that's a swing and a miss. Ball picked up by Murphy, tags Grandal, a run for the White Sox. So we're headed to the bottom of the third, all tied at 1. ALS Cure Project is hosting the Country Fest to Cure ALS in honor of Gretchen Piscotti this weekend, September 10th through the 12th. Join them for evenings featuring Nashville recording artists such as Tori McGee, James Otto, Jason Blaine. All proceeds will be donated to the ALS Cure Project. Visit countryfestals.com for more information. So it is the bottom of the third. We're tied 1-1. Top of the order for the A's. First pitch to Harrison is inside. He's come in 75 and 64 on the year, so we have made it to the 140 mark of the schedule for the Athletics. So Harrison is retired. Time now for the Home Depot getting more done. Has to do with Starling Marte. Best batting average, went ahead in the count. 507. 507.
That's remarkable. You're just hoping for ball one.
Exactly.
Right.
He's definitely going to get a hit here.
How about Lopez? Did Lopez just call that a strike on his own?
Did he? Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count.
It looked like after Lopez threw that first pitch, kind of motioned himself like, I think that's a strike.
Well, that'd be something, huh?
He didn't get the call.
Let's see if Lopez calls his own pitch.
I respect it. Yeah.
Strike.
He said, I don't know. I think that was a strike there.
You know, they're talking about robo-umps. That may be something to think about. Just let the pitcher.
The honor system. Why not?
Or how about every other inning? But we do that. Marte with a hit. See, got ahead in the count.
2-1. I mean, it was really more than a coin flip. At 5:07, you knew what was going to happen. Knock.
So Marte is 2 for 2. He's now with 5 hits in the game.
Just a slider that backs up. Hard ground ball for Marte. See if he can't turn it into a double. Because you know he's already sniffing second base.
Here's Olsen, who struck out in the first. So after today, the A's will have 22 games left. 10 at home, 12 on the road. Rangers will be in town this weekend. The final matchup against the Rangers this year. The A's have a 9-7 record against Texas. So the Rangers not having a great year, obviously. They're 51 and 88, but they have at times played the A's tough.
They've been playing well recently as well.
So after the Rangers road trip to Kansas City and Anaheim, back home for the Mariners and the Astros, on the road for the Mariners and the Astros. So that list getting short, getting real short.
Well, if you're the Oakland A's, based on where you're at right now, there's a couple of different ways maybe you could process what that remaining schedule looks like. But again, if your glass is half full, which I hope it is, you feel like you've got a really good shot those last 4 series to determine for yourself how the season's going to end.
For the wild card standings, the A's 3 behind the second wild card team, which is the Yankees. Yankees and Red Sox fighting it out right now, but both those teams are struggling. Blue Jays, that's a completely different story. Blue Jays are red hot. Swing and a miss, and the count 2-1. Blue Jays and the Yankees will play a little bit later on today, and the Blue Jays are going for the 4-game sweep in New York. Barrios and Nestor Cortez, the pitching matchup there. Jays have won 7 in a row, 10 out of 11. Yankees have lost 5 in a row and 9 out of 11. Marte runs, pitches outside, the throw to second base. Called him out. Jeremy Riggs, the second base umpire, called Marte out. It's like Olson maybe shaking his head going, I don't think so. Marte slowly walking back to the dugout, but he looks safe.
Yeah, well, he was safe initially, and what you could see Ryan Christensen on the phone ask, did he come off? And it looks like that left hand there on the bag before the tag's never reapplied. No. Starling Marte, go ahead and take it back to second base. You're going to be safe.
Yeah, he's safe. So this call should be, and we say that because we just never learn our lesson, should be overturned. There's the hand, base, tag. So he just got in there.
Yeah.
Marte sitting on 43 stolen bases. He hopes to go to 44. It's always scary to me, though, when something seems fairly obvious and it takes a long time.
Well, because it's almost, you almost feel like they're deliberating on, all right, how bad is it going to be if we don't protect our guy here?
Well, yeah, that's
kind of what it feels like.
A different show.
But and that's where the aggravation comes from, is you have you have the ability to replay the play in front of you.
And he is safe. So the call is overturned, as it should be. And that is a stolen base for Starling Marte. 44th of the year. And his 22nd with the A's, and he has not been thrown out with the Athletics. Pretty amazing. To Olson, and the pitch is high, and Olson takes the walk, so 2 on and 1 out. That's the first walk issued by Lopez.
This is where you've got to take advantage here. Feel like you've got Lopez maybe on the ropes a touch. Sure, he's got an out here, but starting to spray it a little.
Chapman grounded out to end the first inning. Blocked by Zavala, and we're seeing again the White Sox. This time it's Cesar Hernandez staying right next to second base to keep Marte close.
Well, and you know what? The reason this is an egregious miss, in my opinion, is because of the dancing that Marte was doing out there. And I told you about giving ground and gaining ground as a runner with that pitcher checking you. So right now, Marte gaining ground, step back, he'll give ground, gain ground. See?
And the throw goes into center field. Watch Marte. He's got a chance to keep going, and he is going to go, and he is going to make it. And Matt Olson goes all the way around to third. You could see it happening.
You got Starling Marte out there, Kite, just backstroking in the dome of Ronaldo Lopez, causing him all kind of fits. Can't pick up the catcher in time. Spiking sliders. He's searching for outs out there, and I respect it. But with Starling Marte out there creating all kind of havoc, popping up, that right there, that's a Marte run every sense of the phrase.
You want to talk about a costly error.
Oh.
Now the infield comes in, and Chapman swings and misses. I mean, think about the ramifications of that error. Instead of it just being first and second, one out, get the hitter. And a run in, the other runner at third with one out. That's a disaster if you're the pitcher.
Yo, it is. And really, only if you can make this hurt.
Swing and a miss, and now it's 1-2. I think what helped the A's there too is Hernandez, the second baseman, he got some leather on the ball, and that forced the ball just to kind of trickle out into the outfield in a perfect spot, and you could just tell Marte was going to have a chance to score.
Great point, Kipe.
One-two pitch is popped up foul.
Well, that right there, because if that ball ends up not touching a glove at all, probably gets to Robert out there.
Exactly. And
Marte
it's second and third,
score.
or maybe even just first and third. So that's the third error in the series by the White Sox.
Well, how about Zebby? Go to work, Double Z's.
The infield comes trotting in. Fouled straight back. So what would be the reason for that, Dallas, where the infielders are starting probably halfway, and then as Lopez goes into a stretch, seeing the second baseman and the shortstop run in to get to the all-in position?
Well, maybe there's a play offensively. Talking about running on contact here, and that's because the defensive alignment is what it is, and then you bring that infield in. As you see,
Chapman hits one very high toward the corner and left. Hamilton, couple steps into foul territory. He's got it. Olson's going to come in to score easily. So 2 runs in the inning, as Chapman does a nice job getting the ball airborne, and it's a sacrifice fly.
that is exactly what needed to be done. A productive out. And I don't care if it's a hard ground ball off somebody who they eventually throw you out, or if it's a deep fly ball. You've got to find a way to get Matt Olson in from third, less than 2 outs.
There's Lowry, who takes a called strike. Lowry doubled and scored in the second. So the A's indeed take advantage of a costly error by the White Sox to score twice here in the third.
And I think we'd say 22 ball games left.
Yep.
The mentality has to shift from, oh, I'm going to get mine, to productive outs per situation. Here, Jed, nobody on, 2 outs. Do your thing. But you got guys out there that need to come across.
Slowly hit toward first. Takes a weird hop. Looked like it hit right on the edge of the grass in the dirt, but Abreu grabs it. A couple of runs for the Athletics. Costly error by Lopez.
A's baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints, the Painter's Paint Store.
Beautiful day in the Bay Area. Not quite as warm as it's been the last 3-4 days. Cooling off a little bit. Be Vaughn, Gonzalez, and Hamilton for the White Sox.
The time for Sean Manaea to dial up a shutdown inning. Create even a little more momentum for you.
Vaughn drives one towards center. Marte hustling back. Marte near the wall, and he makes the catch. So Vaughn hit that ball well, but still looking for his first hit in this series. One away, and now a word from Big O Tires.
At Big O Tires, you can trust that you're getting a good deal. Now through September 19th, get up to a $70 reward card on select Michelin and BF Goodrich tires, plus up to $120 in additional mail-in rebates on purchases of $500 or more with the Big O card. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
So with one out, here's Romy Gonzalez, and he hits one hard but foul down the third baseline. Manaea jumps ahead 0-2.
It's exactly what you want to see after your team is able to scratch a few across, put some pressure on their guy. Come in, force the issue. Start ramming strikes.
Oh, 0-2 pitch. Gonzalez fouls it back. Just the fourth big league game for Romy Gonzalez. Out of the University of Miami.
The U.
The U, as they like to say. Harrison out, Canna in. It'll be Canna. Did you ever play a game at
the U?
Was it Mark Light Stadium in Coral Gables?
Nope. Big 12. So we didn't.
You didn't venture down to the Florida area?
No, sure didn't. And as one Alex Cora would tell me, oh, we would have played you in Omaha, but oh, okay, Alex, thanks. I was able to do some games, broadcast the College World Series actually with the Red Sox skipper Alex Cora, who I will take this time to let everyone know I have more collegiate home runs than.
Do you really?
Believe that. You know how
well,
many?
you could just. That's all you have to do is just. You can just drop the Warren Morris, and that'll be it, right?
I always
the greatest home run in College World Series history.
Yeah, and it was actually it's funny you say that because we had Warren in the booth with us.
How'd that go?
It was actually it was a great interaction.
Yeah, two great guys, right?
Phenomenal people. And I mean, if we're being honest, with AC, I mean Alex Cora, his time spent in Miami, and we jokingly said he's still paying taxes in Omaha now because you might as well have moved in to Omaha. You can be there each and every year.
Osborne got it.
Just riding the crazy train.
Right there inside corner. Billy Hamilton gets caught looking. So that is 6 strikeouts for Sean Manaea. He looks good. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Nonprofit organization has announced that they'll be matching Tony Kemp's pledge to plant 100 trees for each stolen base and extra base hit he records during the 2021 season. The final total number of trees to be planted through this commitment will contribute to the reforestation project as well as community events that are designed to increase environmental literacy. You can learn more about One Tree Planted and their ambassadors by visiting onetreeplanted.org.
I love that.
So 100 trees for each stolen base and extra base hit. Well, let's look. Kemp. He's got 15 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs. So that's 23. 5 stolen bases, that's 28. So that's 2,800 trees.
It's a lot of trees.
It's pretty good.
It's a small grove. For all you arborists out there.
We need you now more than ever.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Tony Kemp, keeper.
1-1 the count to Mark Canha. Inside. He's with 1 in the second and a couple of unearned runs in the third on a costly error by Ronaldo Lopez, the pitcher, on a pickoff attempt. 2-base error.
I've heard worse.
Crucial.
In fact, 2 runners moved up 2 bases. Does that make it a 4-base error?
And they both scored.
They both scored.
Well, there's no doubt that the offensive game plan, the offensive approach has completely shifted with the arrival of Starling Marte.
Yeah, it has been fun to watch.
Well, it has. And think about where you're at in the stage of the season right now. In this ball game specifically, the implications here. And instead of waiting around for that big knock or a homer, you got Marte out there creating offense.
Yeah, and that pitch is low, so it's a leadoff walk for Mark Canha. Hey, A's fans, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Save on your wireless bill with Xfinity Mobile. So here's Tony Kemp, who tripled in a run in the second inning.
With a pretty good approach, I might add. Just fastball away. Smoked it the other way.
Kemp, a bunt attempt, but he pops it up foul, well back into the seats.
Well, just trying to, again, create a little more offense. That pitch elevated. And that's about at the high point where you think Tony Kemp is going to offer at that ball and even try to make an attempt at bunting it. Any higher, you start to mess with the angle of the bat head. That's never any good trying to bunt.
Now, Tony Kemp is playing in his 110th game this year, doing that today. That ties a career high in games played in a season. So when it's all said and done, he's going to have played more this year than in any other season in his big league career.
Well, you should feel good about that.
Yep.
Very good about that.
He played in 110 games in 2019, and that was combined with the Astros and the Cubs. He was traded to the Cubs midseason. Played a lot last year, 49 games last year for the A's in a 60-game schedule. Out in front, just foul.
Let's take you back to that second inning I was talking about. Tony Kemp laced that triple down the left field line. Here it is, fastball, boom. Let it get deep, just put the bat on the ball. Ronaldo Lopez is going to provide all the power you need. Tony Kemp with another big at bat.
It's this one the other way, but it's going to be foul.
Got it.
Well, I thought that the gentleman that got it seemed to be much more aggressive than anybody else in that area.
Yeah, there was a mild lack of interest.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Up and away, and now it's 2-2.
Well, early on, it looked like Ronaldo Lopez is going to be able to move that fastball around at will. He's dotting the corners up, down.
Payoff pitch, fouled back again.
We saw the graphic. Been a while since Tony Kemp has been sent back to the dugout without any action since August 17th. Last time Tony Kemp struck out.
Center field, Robert in a little bit and over. And that's the first out. Here's Murphy. Murphy bounced back to the pitcher in the second inning. He did that with a runner at third and 1 out.
Yeah, Murph got that slider, trying to avoid a little ambush.
Let's do a pitch and predict for the Murphy-Lopez matchup. So Murphy behind in the count 0-1. See how it changes the numbers. And his percentage getting a hit went up, even though he fell behind in the count. Murphy, a shot toward third. Gonzalez is able to spear it. He's able to catch it and survive. How about that?
Well, yeah, if he didn't get that glove in front of him, that ball was going to spear him. 108 off the barrel. And it's all you can do. It's really about self-defense. Throw the glove up, knock it down.
Kotze's asking him if he's okay. So 2 outs for Elvis Andrus with Canna still aboard at first. And Elvis finds the hole on the right side for a hit. Canna stops at second. So hit number 6 for the A's. They've also received a couple of walks.
And just a beautiful piece of hitting from Elvis Andrus. Very simple approach. And I know our man Ray Fosse is sitting there just thinking to himself, again, Elvis is punching it through the right side. Seen him do it for quite a while.
Yeah, like 13 years. So, opportunity here for Harrison. First pitch to Josh is popped up. Abreu, he's got it. So the A's strand a pair. We're going to the top of the 5th inning from the Coliseum with the A's leading the White Sox 3-1.
Race to October baseball is heating up, and you won't want to miss the best show in the town. Bring a friend, bring the whole family, doesn't matter. Tickets start at just $19. You can find your seat at athletics.com/tickets.
Sean Manaea back to work, top of the 5th inning. Sitting right at 70 pitches, facing Mendick, Zavala, and Cesar Hernandez. Mendick struck out looking in the second, one of 6 strikeouts for Sean Manaea. The A's infield plays Mendick straight up. Not so in the outfield there. Pulled well over toward right. Shallow. And Kemp, the left fielder, is really playing in left center. So there's a whole bunch of charts out there that say when Mendick hits it in the air, he hits it toward right field.
Yeah, not a big overpowering fella. So maybe that pull side power isn't as prevalent in his mind as it maybe is for others.
Well, that time he strikes out swinging. 7 strikeouts for Minaya.
When you're seeing a slight dip in the velocity early on, but this at 93 up top. Danny Mendick, no shot.
So here's Sebi Zavala. Zavala, fly ball to center field in the 3rd. Zavala had a thrill this year. He had a home run at the Field of Dreams game. There was a bunch of home runs hit in that game, but you're the backup catcher and you get to play in a memorable game like that, and then you hit one into the cornfield.
And that right there, hit one into the cornfield. If I'm Sebi Zavala and that's on video, we know that.
Yes, it is.
That's going to be on video in my living room on loop for anybody that comes over and visits.
So Christmas Day, just keep rolling.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
0-2 pitch, a little bit high. So Minaya with his 7 strikeouts is now at 172 strikeouts for the season. Done that in 154 innings. So that's pretty impressive. He now sits 6th on the strikeout list in the American League, behind Cole, Ray, Cease, Montas, and Giolito. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
A lot of confidence right now from Sean Minaya. It's just a matter of reaching back and saying, you know what? I'm going to challenge you here. May have got away with a little bit of mislocation there.
Hernandez hits that ball hard, but right to Harrison. Nice 10-pitch inning for Sean Minaya with a couple of strikeouts. He's retired 7 in a row. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Stanford Athletics. Visit gostanford.com/tickets to get in on the action.
So it's the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm always amazed at how big those ships are.
Well, I tell you.
And that's from the Bay Bridge.
Right. Well,
let alone being right next to it.
You know, growing up in Stockton, California here, which is the farthest inland port in our nation.
Very large port, yes.
That's where those ships come down and offload at the port there. Shout out to all the longshoremen grinding. But that's the turning basin. So those big ships would come down, set up against the port. And if you were out there and fortunate enough to be playing on the water, having some fun, maybe doing a little water skiing, down there in the 209, it's try to see how close you can get to those ships. Maybe get your hand a little wet down there in the river, leave a nice long streak across one of those sides.
Why would you do that? That sounds very dangerous to me.
We're living on the edge, guy.
I guess.
But they are an attraction when those big ships come down into town and turn around. You got people lining up on the levee to check them out.
Shortstop Mendick throws, and they got Marte. Gonzalez missed it on the dive. Mendick made a very nice play, and he had to have a quick, clean release, and he did.
Yeah, everything you saw Danny Mendick do on this play was absolutely necessary. Just out of the reach there. Mendick coming in very quick on the exchange. You got to get rid of it here. Gonzo just not enough. Great play.
One away for Matt Olson. Matt Olson has struck out, and then he walked and scored. He was on first base when Lopez threw the pickoff play at second base away. And Olson ended up going all the way around to third and then scored on Chapman's sacrifice fly. Strike on the outside corner. Olson disagrees.
Yeah, pitch at the very top of the zone. Ole, a big fella.
That's Bendick. Fires to first. Olson is out. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Look at the changeup there. I haven't seen a ton of those, only about 4 or 5 of those on the afternoon. Huh?
There they are, right below us. Who and what?
The dynamic duo.
Honey, let's go with the who and what shirts today. You want it?
We're going to go number 1 and number 2 because you know what's happening. Ooh, who's on first?
The who and what Raglans. Let's do it. I love it. One and 2 the count to Chapman. He's got a sacrifice fly, picking up his 69th RBI earlier in the game. Chapman now has 19 RBIs in his last 25 games, so he's picked up the pace, knocking in runs, lots of home runs lately.
We talk about guys getting hot and starting to roll the pole a little, and you don't want those efforts to be in vain. You want to be able to capitalize on guys who are seeing the ball well. We're not talking about somebody putting an entire offense on their back, but you start to get knocks and see the baseball, you want it to count. And Chappie's been a guy who, I think when the team is going well and Matt Chapman is hitting the ball well, it's a completely different level of production on the whole.
And I think, Matt Chapman, and I mean, all of us, we may say, well, Matt Chapman in his 2021 season, a little bit of an off year, but he's going to end up with 27, 28 home runs, maybe close to 80 RBIs. I mean, that's not bad.
No.
And he takes the walk there. That is 3 walks by Lopez.
And Kurt, the truth of the matter is when you struggle early on, it's kind of for an extended period of time, and you do start to get yourself back into the swing of things, that's where you start to splice up your season, and you can kind of go back and assess where things started to pick up, and now you start to evaluate the changes you made, the adjustments you made during that time.
On 1 to Jed Lowry. He got the A's on the board in the second with his leadoff double, then scored on the Kemp triple. past Mike Eldreddy, headed down toward the White Sox bullpen, where for the first time today we got action. Ryan Burr. He's starting to get loose slowly. 87 pitches for Ronaldo Lopez. Looks like this is the most he has thrown this year.
Yes. He did get up to 75 against Tampa Bay. Remember, just the 6th start for Ronaldo Lopez.
And he's made 10 appearances out of the bullpen this year.
Well, it looks like he's gone to that changeup with a little more frequency here later in the ball game. Jed Lowry's spitting on it. This is where if you can get a fastball for Jed, left side of the infield open.
Not close. 2-2. Abreu's got it, and he steps on the bag. So a 2-out walk to Chapman, nothing else. For the A's, we go to the 6th. A's leading 3-1. By Google Cloud so far today, Sean Manaea has 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, all coming on either the curveball or the sinker. How about that?
I love every minute of it. Using that sinker, I mean, it's a good 2-seam fastball that he's featuring today. And maybe a tick or two down on the velocity here later in the game.
He may get a 1-pitch, 1-out situation here as Chapman staying with it, and he's got it. So Luis Robert goes after the first pitch. He's retired. So 1 away here in the top of the 6th. 81 pitches now for Manaea.
Well, the last 2 pitches he's thrown have resulted in outs. You'll take that. I mean, that last half inning, as far as momentum and confidence for a pitcher goes, that's about as ideal as it goes. 2 punch outs early, both on the fastball. Reach back, come and get it. And then your 3rd out, 1 pitch, ground ball. Let's go hit.
You go back out there and you get a first pitch out.
I mean, that is how you draw it up. And that right there, after that first pitch out, Abreu maybe not in a hurry to give him 2 quick outs. Going to take a pitch.
Abreu lines one up the middle, base hit. So Jose Abreu has 2 hits today. 3 hits now in the series.
It's a strong, strong individual.
Yeah, that ball may have got in on him a little bit.
Yeah, that's in off the label there. Still driven out to center field.
Here's Grandal, 19 home runs, followed by Vaughn with 15 home runs. Grandal goes after the first pitch and fouls it back.
Grandal, outside of Luis Robert, seeing lefties the best on this club right now. And .319 against lefties.
Just got a piece of that when it rolls back behind home plate. So Manaea jumps ahead 0-2. A's bullpen is quiet. Manaea in his last start, 7 innings in Detroit. In Toronto, excuse me. Manaea's got it. Fires a second, a strike there, and this is going to be a double play. 1-4-3 double play. Nicely done by Sean Manaea. Bottom of the 6th. Coming up, A's lead 3-1.
Sports California is brought to you by ALS Cure Project at Country Fest. 3 locations September 10th through the 12th. Get tickets at alscure.org.
Beautiful Fox Theater. A's holding on to a 3-1 lead. Bottom of the 6th inning behind Sean Manaea. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. As Ryan Burr comes in, we saw Burr on Tuesday night in Game 1 of the series, and came in the 8th inning. Allowed the first 2 runners to get on base, and both those runners scored after he left the game. So he pitched a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs.
The A's would love to be able to chip away here.
5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, just 1 earned. So his own error cost him 2 unearned runs, and the score is 3-1.
Yeah, that hurts. But again, for Lopez, 75 pitches being the high until today. Extend him a little more. All things considered, threw the ball very well.
A tight little breaking ball by Burr, maybe a cut fastball.
Well, that's a curveball. That's the thing with these guys these days, Kipe. They've got the high velocity, right? And some like the slider, some like the cutter, some like to blend the two, and really just kind of at times based on how they're feeling that day, how the ball's coming out.
Kemp to follow, and then Murphy here in the bottom of the 6th.
So we got Burr on the mound. We got Hamilton in the left. At least they're on the same side.
I know where you're going. That's important. Today it's important.
Yeah.
Strike 3 call. So Canna gets called out on strikes.
Yeah, tough pitch for Mark to take. Well, September baseball is here, and the Texas Rangers ride into the town for a weekend series starting tomorrow. Don't miss this AL West showdown. Plus, early arriving fans for Friday's 6:40 game will receive an Atléticos t-shirt as a part of Latinx night at the Coliseum. So get your tickets at athletics.com.
Well, the Rangers not having a good year. They're 51-88. Second worst record in the American League, but they have won 4 in a row, and they are enjoying an off day. Coming from Arizona, so I would guess the Rangers are probably in the Bay Area, enjoying an off day. Northern California. So they're sitting on a 4-game winning streak.
And that means that even though the overall record might not be as aesthetically pleasing as they'd like it to be for the A's, it's a team that's played you tough, and these are games you have to win.
Long road trip for the Rangers. They started in Anaheim, went to Arizona, and now back here up to Oakland. The first place Astros are off today. They have that 5.5 game lead over Seattle, 6 over the A's in the American League West. Driven toward left center. Getting over there quickly is Luis Robert. So he's pretty smooth out in center field.
He's fun to watch.
So the Astros, with their off day today, have 23 games left, 12 at home, 11 on the road. They have 7 games left with the Angels. And of course, they have 6 games left with the Athletics. They'll play each other the final 2 weekends of the regular season.
Well, that's why I mentioned having those 2 teams in those 4 series, the Astros and the Mariners, being the squads you're going to finish up against. Considering where the Mariners are at in the standings compared to you, and where the Astros are in the division. If you're within striking distance, I mean, those games become monumental.
So for that to happen, the A's are going to need to start moving a little bit closer toward the Astros in that division. So Astros and the Angels in Houston this weekend. Murphy could not hold up.
A big curveball.
Looks like Shohei Ohtani's going to pitch tomorrow night in Houston. So that'll be a big deal. He's 9-1 with a 2.97 ERA. And Murphy went around, and he knew it. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Ryan Burr. We're headed to the late innings with the A's leading the White Sox 3-1.
To you by your California Ford dealers, and it's been all the Annihilator. 6 strong innings up to this point, only 4 knocks. He's had the fastball working, got that punch-out play dialed up. 8 knockouts on the afternoon for the big left-hander thus far. Sean Manaea doing everything he can to give this team a chance to dispose of the pale hose.
So he takes a 3-1 lead, top of the 7th, and Andrew Vaughn's going to lead things off. Vaughn, Gonzalez, and Hamilton. Pitch number 87 coming up from Manaea, and here it is. Hit the other way, and Vaughn remains hitless. So Vaughn is now 0 for 12 in this series. Aaron Bummer, left-hander, getting loose for the White Sox. Funny, Andrew Vaughn, his first regular season games here in the Bay Area. And lots of family and friends. Sometimes that's hard.
Well, you know,
you want so well to put on a good show, right?
You do. You do. And I think about, you know, when Garrett Cole was entering free agency and thinking about where he wanted to land, and it was sort of talked about, you know, the pressures that come with performing at home in front of friends, family. Now we're talking about Garrett Cole making north of $300 million. You're going to be there for a decade. There's a little more than just pitching in front of your friends and family that goes into that kind of pressure at home. But let it eat, lefty.
So that is strikeout number 9.
Man. Ding, ding. That's the tardy bell. Romy, you're late. No hall pass.
Oh, here's Billy Hamilton. Hamilton, yes, he just did get a piece of that. So 0-1 the count. According to the White Sox, talking to their radio announcers, Hamilton had a right oblique strain. It's healed, he's back, but it bothered him, and maybe he still feels it just a touch when he bats left-handed. So he's not batting left-handed.
Nope.
And obviously he would be batting right-handed here no matter what because Manaea, but sounds like he may just stay batting right-handed at least through this year.
Well, those are such finicky injuries.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect example. He obviously still feels it a little bit when hitting from the right side, but not from the left side, because if he did, he wouldn't be out there.
Well, it's just one of those injuries where it doesn't go away. When you think it does, you could sneeze and land yourself right back on the IL.
And that should have been called strike 3. Carapazza missed that one. It was a perfect pitch. Why have a tight strike zone?
Well, and it kind of feels like he's missed more than a few for Sean Manaea. He knew it.
This one is driven left center field, and watch this guy run. Ball rolls to the base of the wall. Hamilton around second, and Hamilton is going to headfirst slide into third with a triple. How about we line up Marte and Hamilton at the third base foul pole, and they can race to the left field foul pole. They can race to the right field foul pole.
That'd be entertainment. No doubt about that. Go with a fastball. Billy just drops the head, helmet gone. And now he is off to the races. And it's funny because Billy Hamilton is never really thinking 2 out of the box. It's probably 3 out of the box, and he'll take 2. If he has to, he'll settle for it.
So he's on third with 2 outs. Danny Mendick will try to knock him in. It's also Billy Hamilton's birthday today. He has a triple on his birthday. So now it's 2-0 to Mendick.
Pitch at the top of the strike zone. You see Sergio Romo getting it going. Yeah, Billy Hamilton shouldn't be on third. He should have got that strike call.
Murphy scoops it, and now the count is 3-0. Sevi Zavala is on deck. But what you got to start thinking about, Dallas, is the White Sox bench right now is very strong.
They've got options.
Yeah, a couple guys getting days off. Nice play by Murphy, but they got Moncada and Garcia as switch hitters on their bench. They also have Goodwin and Sheets left-handed hitters. Eloy Jimenez right-handed hitter. So that's I don't know how healthy Jimenez is, but that's 5 guys, legit guys that Tony La Russa could go to at any point. Marte's coming in right center, and he's got it. So Manaea gives up the triple to Hamilton, nothing else. It is 7th inning stretch time from the Coliseum.
What visiting ballpark did you hit the second most at? A, Globe Life, B, Yankee Stadium, or C, Angel Stadium?
Well, tune in for Matt Chapman's answer as All A's premieres Friday after postgame live. So it's the bottom of the 7th inning. The White Sox will bring in their second reliever, Aaron Bummer. Left-hander out of the bullpen. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. 2-5 with a 4.27 ERA for Bummer. League's hitting .222 against him. This is Bummer's first appearance in this series. So Andrews, Harrison, and Marte. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
Well, it's been a little rough for Bummer. He's allowed 5 runs over 4 innings in his last 5 outings.
Yeah, Bummer's ERA a little higher than you would think. He's a pretty good reliever, 4.27. His best year was 2019. 58 games in an ERA just a shade over 2. Look at the names in this White Sox bullpen. Of course, you immediately think of Hendricks and Kimbrel. There's Crochet, the lefty, and I mean, they got some good arms down there. I was surprised to see where the bullpen's ERA for the White Sox is 4.13. That's 7th in the American League, so it's really pedestrian, right in the middle.
Yeah.
And that surprised me a little bit.
Because they've got firepower down there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's
Kopech is.
Yeah, Kopech.
Guy throws $1 million.
The A's bullpen ERA is 3.97. That's 5th, and of course that's taken a little bit of a beating lately. But I guess you just think that statistically, anyways, the White Sox bullpen would be higher in the rankings.
Well, and as far as stuff goes between those two groups, very different. I feel like you got quite a few guys down there in that bullpen in Chicago. For Chicago, excuse me, that can dial it up 95 plus.
And that one is outside. Andrews checks his swing. Oh, they checked. Wow. Wes Andrus was a quarter of the way to first base. He thought he had a walk. The pitch was outside, but they checked. Let's see if he went.
Well, he kind of, and I think the fluidity with the holdup as he checked and then flipped the bat, I think that may have sold Adrian Johnson down there at first base on the call.
And Adrian Johnson is like chirping hard with, it's got to be Mike Aldrete. Aldreti's just standing there. Now Adrian Johnson is pointing into the A's dugout, so he's putting on a big show for himself. He walked over toward Mike Aldrete 3 or 4 steps and he was talking to him. That's the big show here by Adrian Johnson. Here's an idea. Hey, Adrian, go back to your spot and let's keep the game moving.
Yep.
I think that's a bad act.
Well, and you know that Mike Aldrete probably had something to say.
That's all right.
Oh,
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
But you know what? Then I don't think Mike Aldrete walked toward Adrian Johnson. So why not, if you want to have a conversation with the first base coach, fine. Just stand there and have a conversation. But why make the whole big, I'm going to go toward you.
Right.
And then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to go again toward you.
Well, and it's not like
show.
And it's not like Adrian doesn't understand. He's been behind home plate before, once or twice, and there's communication going on between the catcher and the home plate umpire, hitter,
just stand there. Just stand there and have the conversation.
And that's it.
Bummer grabs it. He'll flip to first. So that is out number 2. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam for tonight. For today, it has to do with Starling Marte and what happened in the 3rd inning. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Marte, he gets aboard. He steals 2nd. Call is overturned. He was called out. Instead, he's called safe. And then with runners at 1st and 2nd and 1 out, the ball gets thrown away. Marte scores all the way from 2nd. That's a Marte run.
Sure is. Wouldn't mind seeing Marte right now. Just get a meatball right down the middle and turn it into a real Marte parte.
On 1 the count. So Marte 2 for 3 today. He's got 4 hits in the series. Stolen base in that 3rd inning for Marte. It was his 44th of the year. 44.
It's incredible. So valuable when you have an individual who understands and can execute the art of the stolen base.
Well, Marte, looking at his career high in steals, 47, and that was in 2016. That was the year he made the All-Star team for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So he's got a pretty good shot now, as he's at 43 or 44, excuse me. The second highest total was 41 stolen bases. That was his first full year in the big leagues back in 2013. 293 career steals now for Starling Marte. One-two pitch, strike 3 called at the knees, and that will do it for the A's in the bottom of the 7th. 8th inning coming up. A's hanging on to a 3-1 lead.
Tomorrow, celebrate Latinx Night at the ballpark. Early arriving fans for the A's matchup against the Texas Rangers will receive an Atleticos t-shirt. Bring a friend and head to the Treehouse for drink specials, live music, and much, much more. Visit athletics.com/special events to purchase your tickets now.
No, it's got to be Sergio Romo. The crowd will let us know who's coming in. Those guys are having way too much fun.
Just an epic scene unfolding here at the Coliseum.
So Sergio Romo takes over when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. This is Gavin Sheets hitting. He's hitting for Zavala. So you figured at some point Tony Lewis was probably going to get to his bench. 1-1 to Sheets.
Get you a lefty on the matchup here against Sergio Romo.
Olsen gives ground, gets a good hop to Romo, who's over there to cover. 1 out. So now to the top of the order, and Cesar Hernandez. How about a word from the Home Depot?
Make your smartest play of the day and download the Home Depot mobile app. Our digital toolbox helps make your job easier, save time, and get more done.
So here's Hernandez, who doubled and scored in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. The Red Sox are off today. They are the #1 wild card team. They will be in Chicago to take on these White Sox this weekend. So the Red Sox probably already in Chicago. Marte's there as he drifts into left center, and he's got it, and that's out number 2. You know what's a big series, Dallas, is next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Red Sox will be in Seattle. So the thing is with the Mariners, and we know they're hanging around, and you know they're just ahead of the A's, but their schedule is giving them opportunities to get where they want to get to.
Yes.
So now you have the Red Sox Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're going to play the A's 6 more times, 7 more times, whatever it is. And that's really what you want, especially if you're behind, and they're a little bit behind. The Mariners 2.5 back of the Yankees. So they are going to get opportunity. Now you see what they do with it. That's
the key.
Yeah, that's the key, obviously. The Mariners are also off today. They will host Arizona this weekend.
Robert sends a missile out to the left. Got him a fastball up.
Well, the game just got scary with Jose Abreu stepping in the box as the tying run.
And the reason I think it gets scary here is because you know the power potential of Jose Abreu. And with Romo out there, maybe not a guy he's too worried about him beating him with velocity. So now you start to see if Jose Abreu wants to expand his strike zone a touch, or maybe start to look out over the plate for a slider. You've got to locate.
Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Thank you. He went.
He did.
I'll give it to him.
But I think upon initial reaction, we're all kind of thinking the same thing.
Don't mess with Aldo.
Boy, Aldo.
He's an influencer. Oh, 0-2 to Jose Abreu. Fastball is high.
I love it. Because I believe if that pitch is 2 inches down, there's a chance he's able to lock up Jose Abreu there. All of that Miguel Cabrera sneak attack fastball.
We saw Ryan Tepera getting loose for the White Sox. Slider, and Abreu was able to lay off that time.
Well, as they cycled through the signs that previous pitch, they ended on fastball in. Romo stepped off after shaking off the slider. Now with that slider taken the way it was here, that slider taken the way it was, you're going to see if Romo wants to go back to that same spot. Or they think about trying to run that fastball, maybe inner third, and just beating Abreu, who could very well be looking out over the plate. Comes that slide.
And it's cued foul.
Well, that one closer than the previous couple, and saw Abreu hold up. This one looked like it was going to be a strike. Abreu able to hang in there and foul it off.
Abreu lays off again. Well, he has seen it now plenty of times.
And you've got to make a pitch here. And this is just going to be about who's going to give in and who's not. Does Abreu expand the strike zone? Does Romo try to run a fastball in there? If he sticks with that slider, does he dot it up?
Robert will take off. Here's the pitch. That was a slider. Good pitch. Chapman's got it. Throws out Abreu, and that'll do it. So Romo does a nice job getting out of it. Bottom of the 8th coming up with the A's leading 3-1. All right, let's look at today's game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. The White Sox with a run on 6 hits. They've made 1 error, and boy, was it costly. 2 unearned runs for the A's in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3-6-0 for the Athletics. Lopez went 5 innings. Sean Manaea back-to-back very strong starts. 7 innings, just 1 run. So it's the bottom of the 8th, and when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts as Ryan Tepera comes in. So 62nd appearance for Tepera. He pitched on Tuesday night in Game 1. Pitched an inning. Gave up a walk and a strikeout. Let's get to our pitch and predict. So we have certainly enjoyed the pitch and predict. We've used it in this White Sox series. Next play live, powered by Invenue. See Yasmani Grandal now catching. Yes, Yasmani Grandal was the designated hitter. So the White Sox have technically lost their designated hitter, and that spot is the 9th spot. So it is now Tepera, the pitcher, who's in that 9th spot. So with the count 1-1, Matt Olson on our pitch and predict has a 26% chance of getting a hit. And this one is going to just hook foul. So with the count 1-1, it was 26% for him to get a hit. So it looks like Andrew Chafin is going to pitch the 9th. How about that?
Yeah, after a couple good innings yesterday.
Pitch is high. You see the numbers change due to the count.
Opponents hitting 143 in 2-2 counts. Matt Olson hitting 163. Excuse me, 188 in 2-2 counts. Here you go. Advantage Matt Olson, who's hitting 328 in full count scenarios.
And Olson with a mighty swing and a miss. So that is 7 strikeouts for White Sox pitchers today.
Tight little slider. Very good depth from Tepera. That was going to be a strike either way.
Now the White Sox pitching staff has the most strikeouts in the American League this year. But in this series, say 7 today, but just 9 strikeouts for A's hitters in the first 2 games of the series. So the A's hitters have only struck out 16 times in this series. Could be a play for Gonzalez, and there is, as Chapman is retired. So what do you think? The most frustrating outs a hitter can make from a hitter's perspective. I'm saying first is the check swing back to the pitcher, right?
Or just a check swing in play, but yes, check swing right back to the hill.
Because check swing back to the pitcher, you got no chance of beating it out. You have not only have you looked bad, you didn't give a full effort because you check swing, and you have no chance of getting a bait. That's got to be number one.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm not talking about striking out. I'm talking about putting the ball in play.
Yes.
I think there's just something about the first pitch pop up in foul territory.
Oh. Well, it's agonizing because, again, there's no chance for you to end up on base. Like,
no, it's
at
out.
All.
No.
Best case scenario, they drop it, fall down, and you get another shot.
Yeah. There's something about that one. I don't know what it is. Because you're begging for it to go into the seats. You're desperate.
Anything, just willing it to happen.
Hoping the sun comes out right in the infielder's eyes.
And then I think after that, it might be stepping up and just getting your doors completely blown off. 3 fastballs right in a row.
But then at least you feel like the pitcher beat you.
Yeah.
Check swing, you just beat yourself.
Right.
It was all on me.
But that third AB, those 3 heaters right by you, it makes you feel like you've just been allowed to come up to play varsity for the first time.
Yeah.
And then everybody immediately realized that was a bad idea.
Yeah. He should not be.
No.
And the 1-2 pitch and a fastball, and that's a swing and a miss. So that's a quick inning for Tepera. Andrew Chafin's going to try to save it for the A's as they lead 3-1.
A's baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. With 10 hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota, let's go places.
So the A's leading it 3-1 over the White Sox, trying to win the rubber game of the series. And Andrew Chafin's going to come in and try to close it out. Chafin has a couple of saves this year. He has a total of 5 saves in his career. And both his saves this year have come with the Athletics. Facing Yasmani Grandal, and that pitch to the backstop. So 2-0 to be Grandal, Vaughn, and then the third spot here in the 9th inning belongs to Romy Gonzalez, the rookie third baseman. Could be that maybe a spot where Tony La Russa would go to one of his hitters on the bench. But we're not there yet. 2-1 the count to Grandal.
For Chafin right now, he's just trying to go out to out. Again, the guy who's in the ball game yesterday, on his way back in there today. That's what happens. You get through some innings cleanly. Not too much high stress. You might buy yourself another opportunity to get back out there.
Foul straight back. So 2-2 the count to Grandal, who has walked, struck out, and hit into a double play. Check swing. Chapman charges. He's got it. Chapman throws in time. 1 away.
Well, there's that check swing we were talking about. Just an early commitment to the fastball that it wasn't. Matt Chapman going to ease it on over there. Get rid of Grandal for the first out.
So here's Andrew Vaughn. You know, Dallas, before the game ends, we want to thank the good folks from In Venue Next play live, our pitch in perfect, which we've had some fun with in this series against the White Sox. Very interesting stuff.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
So we appreciate all the work they're doing, and glad we've got an opportunity to check it out, try it out on our telecast. Very interesting stuff. One and one count to Vaughn, who has struck out and hit a couple of fly balls. Canna could have a play heading over toward the bullpen, and he caught it. He caught it, a basket catch.
You kidding me? Well, Canna's got to track this ball, make sure that wall is not going to become a problem. And all the while, try to maintain position. And there's just a lot going on here for Mark Canna. He throws out the basket and boom. Look what I got.
How about a golf clap to that guy right there? You see him get out of the way? Pull the hands back. Let Mark Canna do his thing, and he did. Watch this fan after the great catch by Canna. Get out of there.
Love it.
Awesome.
Team player.
So 2 outs here in the ninth. That one's hit well. Kemp spinning around. Kemp's going to turn around, and he's going to play it off the wall. Gonzalez is going to have to hustle, and he gets in there just ahead of the tag by Harrison. And that keeps the game alive. And it also will get the tying run to the plate. Can't imagine that Billy Hamilton's going to hit.
Fastball up top. That ball was stung.
So the runner is at second with 2 outs, and Billy Hamilton is going to hit. Hamilton fouls the first one back. So it could be that the guys on the bench may be a little dinged up. Who knows?
Yeah, I was just going to say that might tell you what you need to know about Eloy Jimenez. Just how well that knee is or isn't doing.
Hamilton, a little pop-up. Olsen over. Olsen under. Got it. Ball game. So Andrew Chafin comes in for the 9th inning. He gets his 3rd save of the year, and he saves it for Sean Manaea, who picks up his 9th win of the year. So the A's play a good series. They win 2 out of 3 from a very good Chicago White Sox team. And they will now get set for a weekend of baseball here at the Coliseum against the Texas Rangers. Time of game this afternoon was 2 hours and 41 minutes. The A's win it today. Final score, the Athletics 3 and the White Sox 1. We will see you tomorrow night, folks, for the A's and the Texas Rangers. Right now, it's A's Post Game Live, presented by Toyota.